Hello, Twitch, and welcome to Retro Friday on the Lady Isla Rose channel. As promised, we're going to be actually doing test times in Tonetown today, for reals. I have my iPad right over here with a FAQ up on it from GameFAQs, and we're going to walk through this and see if we can actually get through this with a minimum of soft locks and other random things going wrong. You'd think, since it has literally this is what you click, this is what you do, that I should be able to get through this, but weird things have gone wrong in my life. So we'll see. Hello, Sector. So we're going to be using a detailed walkthrough from GamePacks.com. It's got like the commands on top, and then it's got like what it actually does. I'm using the what it actually does to actually give myself some context. So let's turn on the Rockin' 60. Yeah, minimal soft locks. All right, let's turn on the Rockin' 16-bit music. Maybe. Okay. And where is Sweet 16? And let's get started. Okay, so we're gonna just start a whole new game. Okay, so this is your grandfather's living room in his secluded cabin. We actually didn't. We got the first a little bit of it, pretty close to correct. We didn't really go off the rails until we met the band backstage. That's really where things went off the rails. And what we did was we set some stuff down backstage that we shouldn't have set down. So my grandfather's cabin. I'm going to go south. Spot is here lying on the floor. Go south. You're in a small familiar kitchen. Spot is here barking at the kitchen counter. There's a key in the jar. Get the key. Go north. We looked at all this stuff last time. Gramps, nightmares, it's couch, it's books. Go west. Door's locked. Oops. Use key on door. You open the door and rush inside. You're in Gramps' lab. It looks like it could use a good dusting. There's a half-eaten pizza and fishbowl sitting on the lab. You see a book. So we're going to grab the book. And we're going to get... get some guitar picks because we need currency. So the book is the book is the trick, because the book you need at the very, very end of the game. But you get the book now, and the book is something you need to be able to either need to hold on to it till the end of the game, or drop it in a place you can get to it right before you go fight the final boss. You get a book, you get a bunch of guitar picks, and you go east. To this giant machine, scary things. Eastern part of the lab, silvery hoop, which is large enough for me to walk through. A generator is bolted to the floor. In the corner, Spot is here, leaping through the hoop like a circus dog. So you need to actually throw the switch. You get the thing. Spot leaves off the glance over his shoulder, goes through the hoop. All right, we're in a trench. So this is all pretty, like I said, we did fairly well the last time with this. So we get dizzy for a moment, find yourself another place. It's a dirt-filled construction site. A trench running north and south. It appears to be dug by unconventional means. The walls are smooth. You look at Spot and notice he looks radical. He turns to you and says, say bye to Spot and hello to Enio. This is probably supposed to be like Cockney or something, but I'm not doing voices. I have arrived. Let's blast. Enio is following you. So we gotta go north. We definitely need that jar. The walls are smooth. Enio looks up at the trench and peers in. You brush some dirt aside and get. So we definitely want to take this jar. I can't. Oh, we have to capture something in the jar eventually. So, south. East. Go east. You're on a north and south wipe. Let's go get our disguise. You're sitting in a chair in the Jamak salon. Off to the east, you see a rack of brightly colored clothes through the doorway. Chaz, Tonetown's famous body stylist, hands you a die-cut diorama. Um, oh. Dye hair? Is that what it is? Pink, because pink. Choose pink. So now you're looking, so puts a wild streak of pink in your hair and says, now you're looking tone better than that John Boy Waltoon look you had. Let's get back to the boutique. So we're going to go back to the boutique and we're going to, so to the east was the boutique. Okay, so you're standing in a clothing boutique. Jumpsuit, built-in backpack, which I don't know. I wish the backpack gave you more inventory slots, but that's, a long time ago. From metal bracelet. All right. Buy the things. Wear the things. Because it's very important. I was talking to somebody last week about this at Kansas Fest, and they said one of the things that they had an issue with when they played this was the fact that just because it's in your inventory doesn't mean you're actually using it. As a matter of fact, you have to specifically wear it. So that's 2 inventory slots that are taken up because you can't take the jumpsuit or the hooplet off because then you're going to look like a tourist and the crocodile whatever dude that you're eventually going to spoiler alert, you get to eventually off him. He's going to come and eat you and we don't want to get it. All right, so we are dressed to thrill and we're going to save the game. Game is saved. So dressed to thrill. Lift receiver. At the sound of a tone. The top tune is Tass. So we actually picked that. Die cuts are tones. So all these things are hints. We're supposed to pick the jumpsuit up. You're supposed to dye your hair. So this is if it's hints to try and get you to not get et like we did. I think there's one more. Warm up with the fizzy at Fast Freddy's. We will do that eventually. So these are just hints for so again, the game is I suppose if you know what you're doing and you're used to playing these games, these hints would be a lot more helpful. Okay. So we are dressed to blend, and now we are going to the Tonetown Times. Like I said, this is where we went off the rails. First of all, not turning on the printer, that was absolutely hysterical. Second of all, dropping stuff where we couldn't get it back. So, small newspaper dispenser. I'm going to grab the newspaper. Because, read article 1. Gramps vanishes. So Franklin Snarl is, we know we need to go going after Franklin Snarl. Hopefully we'll kill him today. Franklin Snarl purchases choice in town sites for the project of location. That's everything in real estate. So probably that construction site we landed in. Blob pets. We need to get a blob pet. And we're gonna do that. We're gonna get a blob pet. The blob pet is there was a place where I was wandering around going, I know I'm supposed to do something here, but I can't. And that was because I did not have a blob pet. So burns me up. Blob pet. They're cute but tough to housebreak. I feel like the blob pet wanders off. Tonetown travelers are disappearing in the wetlands. Search party is feared lost too. So that tells us when we're in the wetlands, it's dangerous. Deboss metal card. So that's what we were looking for near the trail. You need the blob pet to find it. There are only 5 articles. All right, so we're going to go into the Tonetown Times. And we're going to, the editor is sitting behind his desk working. Inio says you have to use first names, which is dumb because it doesn't give you any first names, but I have a fax, so I know his name is Nuyu. And he tells me, I look Tone. Go print a press pass at a free terminal. You're on photo assignment for the legend, who is, of course, the dog. Because why not? Here's an instant camera. We need a close-up of the Daglets. So we're going to take the camera. And we're going to we're going to go to the terminal. We're going to drop the newspaper here in Enio's office. I love that the dog is the legend. All right. Nope, I don't want to get the paper. All right. Turn computer on. Turn printer on. Read. Type cat. Do you need a press pass? Yes. As the printer clicks, a press pass appears. We're going to get the press pass. I have a press pass. And we're going to let Enio, we're going to leave Enio's office. I love that he's dropping his toes, by the way. If you look over here, he's like dropping his doggy toes. Can I don't need to type a slash. This is not IRC. Pet Enio. It's a petted dog. Petted dosh. Okay. Enio suffers me petting him. Alright. Back to the editor's room. Back out the door. Up to here. I'm on a north-south sidewalk. The bullet-shaped building, which is Freddy's. We'll go to Freddy's later. Freddy's we go to closer to the end because we need to get a burg. As part of one of the quests, we are not ready to get the burger or the gloves that we get at Freddy's yet. We got to go get this picture taken first. So here's the construction site where we landed. Here's Freddy's. We keep going north. Enio is sniffing the breeze. I'm in the center of the town square. There's beautiful weeping willows. There's a pet store. There's an oval-shaped building to the west. Enio is doing dog things and sniffing. To the east is an oval-shaped building. To the west is a pet store. I think we kept going. Yeah, we keep going north. And we're going to listen to the rocking. So we're going to rock with the band. This chick with the soft green feathers in her hair emerges from the crowd and smiles at me, Enio, and barks, joining in the fun, endearing him to a passing toner. So everybody wants to pet the Doge because the Doge is awesome. And we know her name is Stelgad because we are super cheats, like all the cheats, and we have a fac. She says, "Hi, I'm Stelgad. Knew you told me you were coming." She looks at Enio and seems awestruck by his presence. "You must be the legend." She looks at you. "Show me your press pass and I'll take you to the Daglets." So she takes you by the arm and leads you through the crowd to the back of the bandstand where the Daglets have just left the stage for their break. You're behind the bandstand. So here we can drop the key and the press pass because we need to get two things from this. This is where we went off the rails. Yes, Doge. So the first thing I need to do is take the photo. Cheese and onions. And I got a photo. And now I can drop the camera. And I need to actually, so the zag tone, look, zag tone. The zag tone is about 10 inches in length. The heavy metal end is shaped like a lightning bolt and attached to a soft leather wrapped handle. If I remember, so I have a zag tone. That's something I need. So zag tone, I have an extra, keep it. You've got a zag tone, you're behind the bandstand. I don't need this, I don't need this. So I'm done with the camera, I'm done with the key, I'm done with the press pass. Wait until... You'll hardly get a response from the Daglets. Alright, so the break's over, and we're back. So we come back to the park. This dude looks super scary. Like, obviously he's the band's bouncer. And we don't want to mess with him. Alright, so we go south to the town square. I know why he's whining. Our not friend. Alright, so give photo to new you. Typing. Alright, you've proven yourself worthy of a chance to really work with the legend, new you says, motioning towards the dock. Seems like our old time friend and creator Gramps is in a deep water with Snarl. It's time you and Enio checked it out. We think he's being held in the tower. When you finally get to our Snarl, be sure to sick Enio on him, which is a huge hint that that's the command you're going to need to use. Is sick. So you actually have to type sick Enio on Snarl when we get there, which is, we're a long way from there. This is probably all right. So we're gonna go check out. So now we've got our assignment. We're gonna go. We know what we need to do. We need to go find Snarl. Snarl's holding Gramps. We're gonna find out why. There's a very specific reason why Snarl is holding Gramps hostage. All right, so we need to go north again. I love this building. I would want to work in this building. Can we just stop and take a minute to appreciate the architectural design of the game and just the visual style that it's using? This whole it's 80. It's like so 80s, which makes sense because it came out in the 80s. 80, 90s, early 90s, something like that, but it's got such a great style all its own. All right, the float phone, the construction sites, Enio sniffs, Enio whines. Going west. Ugh! Wrangle and Snarl sits behind a blank, but luckily, yeah, it is really slick. Luckily, we don't look like a tourist, so he's not going to eat us this time. Yay! We're standing inside Snarl Pets while I scroll the facts some more. There is a glassed off wall of blob pets making strange squealing sounds. These things are creepy as heck. Franklin Snarl sits behind a black plexiglass register so you can, totally see everything. Enio appears very nervous. I can't imagine why there's this creepy, drooling, snarling guy that if he knew who I was would eat me without thinking too hard about it. So yeah, I can understand. So we're gonna buy Blobbo. Franklin Snarl grins, takes 5 picks from you, and brings you a nice little blob pet. This one's name is Blobbo. Cute little fellow. Real, purebred. You got Blarbo. Snarl stands up and hangs the clock on the door and leaves. You're standing inside Snarl Pets. There's a glass off wall of blob pets. Alright, so he's okay. Yes, what, the blob pets? They was it my first or second year at K-Fest that somebody's door involved the blob pets and I don't remember who. But there was somebody whose door was like freedom for blob pets or something like that. It was and now it took me I was today years old when I got that. maybe it was my second year if you remember it. But I was today years old when I understood that door. All right, so we have blob pet. All right, we go east. And we go east into the oval-shaped building, and we save the game here. Because I'm not sure which mask we need. So this could be, we might have to come back to this. It's party day mask. It's a party, so Flo, the woman in charge, stands behind the counter. Buy mask. It's party day in town. Take black or gold. So I'm going to take the black one. And I'm going to wear it. It's a snug fit, but it's on. I think so that I don't look human anymore. So remember... Oh. I need to go west. Alright. We go north. We go back to the band. I feel like I should be playing music, but whatever. Go east. Alright, I'm on a nature trail that's leading through a pretty section of flowers and trees. A sign says, preserve our wooded areas, please stay on trails. Enio wags his tail and eyes the birds. Because even though he's the legend, he's still a dog and he still wants to chase the birds. Okay, so we need to go find that stupid card. Please stay on the trail. Am I actually going anywhere? I smell snarl meat. We don't want to be here yet. Okay. The conifers close around you in a dense wood. The forest is too thick to go in that direction. There we go. Blobbo digs a hole in the patch of sand and finds a card, then he runs away. So Blobbo has to run away so we have room in our inventory. I need the debossed metal card. Okay. Then he runs away, leaving the card behind. You're standing in a densely treed wood. So there's a sandy patch of soil here. A faint path heads east. You see a debossed metal card. Take card, you get a debossed metal card. All right, save in slot 1. Okay, so this is now we're in unfamiliar territory, and I actually have to think about what I'm doing. Okay, so go north from here. Apparently, the conifers close about me in a dense wood. Okay, the ground feels spongy. And dust billows up with each footstep. Large mushroom growths encrust the tree trunks, looming eerily in the dim moonlight. A musty odor permeates the air. A high brick wall, thick with ivy, is directly ahead. I think what I'm going to do at this point is also pull up what you guys can't see, but I have a map. So, Sandy Patch Forest, brick wall. East. Go east. Go east. 4 more mushrooms, more mushrooms. Whoa! That's not where I want to be yet. I want to be there, but not yet. Huge mushroom growths completely cover the trees, and the air is so thick you can hardly breathe. This is where I'm supposed to tuck the book. Oh, where am I? Huge mushrooms. Brick wall, okay. Brick wall, brick wall, brick wall, mushrooms. Huge mushrooms. So this is where I'm supposed... Oh! Hey, I found another way to die! Spore clouds penetrate your... Okay. Would you like to try again? Yes, I would. I found more ways. Okay, so. We're going to take the black mask. Okay. I found more. I didn't say we're not gonna die the same way we died before. We're gonna find all new ways to die. We're gonna find all new, different, interesting ways to die. Okay. Okay. So scroll back. All right. Wear mask. It's snug fit, but it's on. Okay. West. North. East. Oh, there's the music. You're on a nature trail leading through the pretty section of the flowers and trees. The sign says preserve for wooded areas. Please stay on the trail. Enio wags his tail and eyes the birds. North. West. West. Okay, that was interesting. But okay, Blabo digs a hole in the path of sand and finds a card, then he runs away. Get card. You're saying in densely treed woods, there's a sandy patch of soil here, a faint path heads east. I took the card. Save game. Okay. North. North. East. East. North. Drop book. South. Take. You managed to get a lasagna thick chunk of it. Okay. North. Throw mushroom at eye. The dust cloud of spores from the mushroom floats over the eye creature, causing its large, sad eyes to swell shut. The dust cloud of spores from the mushroom, crippling it in a sneezing fit. Okay. And other stuff I never would have figured out before. Go east. Rain. The woods close around you. Rain begins. You painfully rub your eyes. South. South. South, and we're back. Oh, neat. That's what happens. South. Preserve our wooded areas. So we will have to go back for that. Can't go in that direction. Okay, so we have safely managed to do that. Rock out to the Zaglets, or whatever their name was. I think I need to go south again. Yeah. Woof. South. South. Okay, now we're going to go to Freddy's. This is Freddy's. Freddy's is, the waitress seats you at a booth and waits to take your order. From where you sit, you can see the Fast Freddy's is really hopping. There are dancers whirling around on the dance floor, people eating and chatting at various booths along the walls while rock music blasts out across the room. There's a small sign on the wall in your booth. You see mitts. Buy burger. The waitress says you should buy a fizzy with that, and then she brings you a glow burger and places it on the table. The waitress asks, and what will you have? Our legendary Enio. And Enio asks for a cold woofie on toast. I'm not even sure I want to know what a cold woofie on toast is. I have this image of toast with like wet dog food slathered on it. Maybe peanut butter. I'm not sure. He's a dog, so dogs eat weird things. But a cold woofie on toast? Buy burger. The waitress says you should try a fizzy with that. What you have, our legendary Eno, a cold woofie on toast. You see mitts. I guess at this point, I can drop the picks. I can take the mitts. And I can take the berg. Berg. The berg. Oh, duh. Okay. Where mitts? Take berg. All right. So we have a glow burger. We have gloves that let us touch things. We have all kinds of interesting things. We are farther than we were before. We're going to save our game. We're going to do another safety save. Where are we? Game number 3. Oh, I guess we need to save game number 3. Okay. So I have a glow burger. I have mitts. All right. So apparently I want to go, according to this, I want to go west, out the door. That makes sense. North. North. West. And down. Okay, so we needed the glow burger here so that it's kind of like, it's like the glow burger is the lamp. One of the things that I did manage to do after a couple of false starts at Kansas Fest's marathon was get lamp. Although there was some discrepancy because I typed take lamp because I don't, probably because it's more grammatically correct. And like, yeah, I get that the documentary is called Get Lamp, but it let me use that verb, so neener. Alright, Enio hops on your back, and you grab the handholds and slowly step downward, run into the inky blackness. You're at the bottom of a well. Off to the west, the doorway is carved into the smooth stone wall, heading off into a gloomy, barely lit tunnel. Ah! You're in a small cavern before a wall of cages containing wild, terrifying animals. To the west, the dimly lit tunnel heads into the blackness. To the east, light filters down from above. A filbert stands here guarding the cages. Enio sniffs cautiously at the filbert. Walk. Keep right on walking. You're at the southern end of a tunnel. Off to the east, you can see a hole in the cave wall, and the tunnel branches off to the north. On the cave wall was a button with a small plaque on it. Emergency only. Okay, so we're not going to touch that. We're going to go north. You're in a north and south tunnel whose walls are made of smooth fused stone. North, north. Up. So we're at the northern end of a dark tunnel. A tube extends upward, and you can make out handholds in the side of the tube. Going up. Ah! Dog. You're on Frank. You pick up Enio and climb up onto a tree. You're on Franklin Snarl's estate, standing by a hollow tree. To the north, you can see more lawn. A brick wall is to the south. Enio is just chilling with the jaw dog, apparently. Oh, no, that was Zork was get the lamp, not adventure. Did you even? I don't think you even ever got to Zork. I think that was one of the ones that you could. I feel like that was one of the ones that you couldn't actually get into the drive. All right. North. You're in the middle of Snarl's huge estate. Lawn surrounds you on all sides but the west. To the west is a wing of Snarl's house. You're at the eastern end of an east and west path through Snarl's estate. A gate in the brick wall to the east can be easily seen. The lawn continues to the north and south. Unlock gate, open gate. Okay. So what I've done here... Oh, you did? Adventure was in the pile. I didn't ever get to adventure. So maybe, but Get Lamp was definitely Zork. I knew as soon as Jason said Get Lamp was one of the objectives that was Zork, because I've at least gotten that far in Zork. All right, the ground feels puffy. We were here, but these things can't bother us because we've already dealt with these dudes. East. East. So there's a mossy path that carries off. On the right is an old boat landing. To your west are woods. South, pretty lake. All right. The ground feels spongy, large mushroom growths, etc., etc. Out of the thick air flash red devils, curling neon tubes of lightning. They singe the ground, coming uncomfortably close to your skin. Okay. You hear grass a lightning bolt foaming, and you hear a sizzling sound. It jumps about in your hands, but you manage to put it in the jar. So I've got one of these dudes in a jar. That's what the other thing that I needed the mitts for. You get a jar with a devil in it. Did I take a devil? I'm supposed to, Did I get the devil? Can I scroll up? You got a jar with a devil in it. Okay, excellent. South. East. Probably should have saved. I'm near the northern end of a long flowing river. Straight ahead looms a magnificent waterfall. Pouring down into the river, a passable shoreline starts up to the east. You're at the northern end of a long flowing river. Straight ahead looms a magnificent waterfall. Pouring into the river, almost deafening you. East. Climb up the embankment to another stretch of shoreline. A high wire fence is to my right. North. Neat. To the east is a barbed wire fence through which you can see mile after mile of tract housing. Plain white housing. All the same. Probably the anti-Tonetown. A path travels to the north and south, bordering fence and water. To the west, the lake looks treacherous as a waterfall crashes down. So, I'm guessing. So, what we're gonna find out eventually is that Tonetown is Gramps' like dreams made real-ish. So the edge of this is like the edge of Tonetown, I guess, and these are all like plain white tract housing, super boring. Anti-Tonetown. So Enio is clogging the shoreline, staying as clear of the wire fence as possible. North. You're at the entrance of Ennui Estates. That is a great name for a housing tract. Beyond, only to the east, you can see what could only be millions of identical picket fences surrounding identical white clapboard houses. To the west is the lake and a small landing. A small rowboat is moored here. And I just realized I've got to change my game name. So I'm going to do that real quick. New window. Yeah. Won't take me but a second. Because I have that page bookmarked. Yeah, there we go. Only because at some point this is Tonetown. I'm going to need this when I archive it. Retro. Update. All right. Update information. There. All right. Okay, so a small rowboat is moored here. Enter boat. Enio is in the boat with me. Yay, we're going on a boat ride. We're going on a boat ride. Going on a boat ride. Going west on the boat. The Glowburger stops and disintegrates. You're floating into the boat. The current to the north seems to push you to the south a bit. To the south, a waterfall rolls as million gallons of water is found 100 meters below. South. West. The current is rather strong. North. Before you is the entrance to the tower. To the east and west is a heavily bouldered area. Your boat is moored to the south. You're inside a chrome, glass, and steel office, again with the super 80s aesthetic. An antiseptic and empty tower. An elevator sits off to the west, its door open. Go to the elevator. Your small elevator. Before you are 4 buttons mounted on a plaque. There's a slot beside the top, a 5th button. Insert card into the slot. Push button 5. Push button 5. You feel a slight movement as the elevator starts and stops again. You're in a small elevator. Mounted on a plaque. There's a slot. Alright. It's Gramps! We found Gramps! Great to see you, whippersnapper. Get these cuffs off of me, Gramps says. You're in a vast penthouse. Enio sits by Gramps' feet and yaps. Alright, old timer, let's bolt out of here. Okay, so we found Gramps. So how in the world are we going to get the cuffs off of Gramps? What do we possibly have in our inventory that can take care of this? The answer, spoiler alert, because I have all the spoilers off screen. Spoiler alert, it's the Zag tone. Hit chain with Zag tone. Whap! The cuffs spring open. We are in a big penthouse. Enio is like, we gotta get out of here. We gotta get out of here. We gotta get out of here. So let's do what Enio wants. Go back the way we came. West. Push button 1. Go east. Go south. Gramps motions towards the boat. Come on, time's a wastin'. That snarly thing is going to upset the whole space-time continuum if'n we don't get to his lab soon. Before you lies the entrance to the tower. To the east and west is a heavily bouldered area, and we have our boat. Okay, so enter boat. You hop in, so everybody gets in the boat. I really hope this boat can hold 2 adults and a dog. I did not look like a very large boat. Again, we'll have to see. So we go south. We go west. You fight your way across the current to the west and manage to land the small boat. Everybody leaps to the shore. Before you can tie up the boat, the current pulls it out into the lake far out of reach. There's a mossy path here that trails off to the north and south. On your right is an old rotted boat landing. Beyond the glimmering lake to your west is woods. Okay, so what do we need to do? We need to go back and get the book. Well, first we're going to do safety save. Because we got Gramps, safety save. We're pretty, actually, I think we're pretty close, judging by where the slidey bar is. I knew this was not going to be a 2-hour stream. Maybe we'll do a little Snorchcraft when this is over. Maybe we'll talk about this. Maybe I'll just do a short stream tonight, because I have a metric ton of grinding to do in Destiny, because woo, Iron Banner. Great things to come back from vacation to. All right, west. West. South. Tack the book. Go north. Can't open the gate. Spoot. Take the book. I think this might have been the gate. Yes. West. This is really easy when you have a document that tells you what to do. I don't know how. I mean, I guess either kids were a lot smarter back then, or it was just, again, with the replayability. I mean, we're going to probably come in under an hour. I wonder if I could learn to speedrun this game. All right. Be very careful now. That Snarl is an extremely tough cookie, Gramps warns. You said it, Buster, Enio says. You're in the middle of Snarl's huge estate. Lawns surround you on all sides, but the west. To the west is a wing of Snarl's house. You're in the house of Franklin Snarl. The place smells of old things best left unnamed. Ew. Even in your light, the place seems dim and dingy. You can hear crackling coming through the doorway to the north. Enio says, I smell Snarl meat. Franklin Snarl attacks Gramps, and they roll about on the floor of the lab. It looks really bad for Gramps. You're in the laboratory belonging to Franklin Snarl. It looks oddly similar to the lab in Gramps' house, though it's a much smaller version. A hoop buzzes and crackles in the corner. Franklin Snarl is here. Enio growls at Snarl. Sick! Enio, on! Snarl. Enio corners Snarl and growls like a fighting tiger, holding him at bay. You now know that the legend of Enio was well founded. He is fearless. Doge. Go Doge! Give me my lab book, Yumster, Grab shouts. I need something from the first few pages. So this is where, if you did, put the book somewhere and you didn't have the book, you would be almost done with the game and realize that you were boned. First thing we're gonna do is we're gonna open the jar. Give me my lab. So we're gonna stun him with the lightning. Boom, 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 boom. Give book to Gramps. Yeah, we're working on it. We're gonna stun him with lightning first. 2. Gramps. Gramps grabs the book and immediately sets to fixing the hoop. In a few short seconds, he's done. Let's get that Snarl burger through the hoop and fast. Throw Snarl into hoop. You push Franklin Snarl through the hoop. A great sizzling as if bacon frying, I love that, accompanies his passing through to the other side. You and Gramps wave to each other, and you bend down to pat Enio's head. So long, Whippersnapper, Gramps shouts, waving to you. You keep the cabin and come visit me soon. I'll be right here in Tonetown waiting. And with that, everything twists and turns. Your knees buckle and you find yourself on the road a mile or so north of Gramps' cabin. Hopefully not still wearing the ugly jumpsuit and the pink hair, but you probably still are. Yeah, exactly. And a lot of people had that happen, Sector. A lot of people were like, what do you mean, what do you mean I need the book? Sitting by the side of a road is a pig, a cute little pig, a darling raccoon, and a little crocodile shedding a few tears. It seems the game has ended. Would you like to try again? No, because we just beat the game. Hang on, let me come up here. Ooh, turn the music down. So, task times in Tonetown in about 55 minutes. Let's go back to the booth. So, one of the classics of the Apple IIGS era. I got to, when at Kansas Fest last week, I got to have dinner with and hang out with one of the key programmers on this, Becky Heineman. Love you, Becky. But she's super cool, and but it wasn't just her. There were a whole team of people that worked on this game, and when people think about 2GS games, this is probably one of the ones. Like when I first got my GS, I first got my Apple IIGS. I think you can see it there. There's my Apple IIGS, all tricked out. Obviously, I'm doing some cleaning with the ISO, because if you're in this hobby, you go through isopropyl alcohol like a wild thing. That was one of the games that people suggested that I play, was Task Times in Tonetown. Took me a while to get around to it. I have messed, like I said, fun game. One of the things that I think that it does really well, and it's hard to imagine that this game was state of the art. Yeah, she is a legend. This game did a great job of taking advantage of what the Apple IIGS could do with the 16-bit graphics and the and Sonic chip for sound and the upgrades that, you know, the GS in Apple IIGS stands for graphics and sound. And this game was one of the ones that really pushed that, took advantage of it, but still managed to capture that old that text adventure feel, but really give you, I mean, if you look, I'm going to go back to the game here real quick. I mean, like this, I don't know how well it's going to come across on stream, and it's hard to tell because I'm running it in an emulator, versus running it on the CRT. With the Apple IIGS CRT is specifically made for the machine. It has a proprietary cord and everything. It's an incredible. So Apple's been doing proprietary for a long, long, long time. So anybody who thinks Apple's using their proprietary connectors and their proprietary software and hardware is a new thing, just you need to go all the way back to the beginning. When Woz argued for open architecture and Steve Jobs wanted closed architecture, and up until about the Apple IIc and 2GS era, Woz did win that argument, but not for long. And once the Toaster Mac became a thing, Jobs had his way. So when you get into these things, can you crack them open? Yes. I have cracked one open, or I've been around in the room when one's been cracked open, and I have seen it is true. It's not an urban legend. All of the signatures of the people who worked on the Macintosh are debossed in the, I think it might be in the Mac Plus. I know in the 128 and the 512 has all the signatures, including Jobs and Woz, debossed on the inside of the case. But it's just, But so it's been proprietary for years, and it looks really, really, really good on that screen for the time. We were used to, you were lucky if you had a color screen. I remember when we were kids, we had an Apple IIc. This one. That's why I have this one, is because to relive my childhood. And one of the coolest things we figured out, actually, I read the manual. Sorry, Mom, I read the manual and figured this out. Um, it doesn't go. We didn't have TVs back then that had all the ports that we have now, but you need, so to hook it up to a television, you needed some sort of RF modulator. And you could buy, and I picked up in the garage giveaway this year, I did pick up I have an Apple branded RF modulator now, just for kicks. But you could do it with a VCR. So if you plug the 2C into the VCR and then use the VCR to modulate the signal, you could hook the 2C up to your television via the VCR, which we did a couple of times. And at some point, we got our mom to go and buy a longer cable to make it a little bit easier. So because Mom thought it was actually kind of cool to be able to see what the 2C was doing in color. So that was my big RTFM moment. Was my mom's like, "Are you sure?" I'm like, "Mom, I am positive this is going to work. Literally, the 2C manual says you can do this." Because I read all the books that came with our computer as well. Because I was a small dork. So yeah, just the amount of care and love that went into this game, and the fact that it's Nintendo hard. You can soft lock yourself. I mean, I died and I had a FAQ. I got lost and I died. And there are a couple times there when I had to, backtrack a little bit. And I'm sitting here with a thing on an iPad that says, do this, go here, go there. Yeah, I've been reading the manuals for years. People that really like when I was in IT, I think 90% of it was some combination of read the manual or Google the error and find out how to fix it. And the people at my office thought I was some sort of god, because it's like, oh, that blue screen of death, that's a RAM error. Let me order you some more RAM. How'd you know? Literally, I wrote down the numbers, whatever the 0x error code was. I Googled those 0x and it came up RAM error, RAM error. Okay, so we need to buy RAM. And they're like, how do you know? I'm like, nobody, I think everybody in IT knows this, that 90% of your job is Googling errors to find out how to fix them. And then the other 10% is when you really have to troubleshoot. So that is Tass Times in Tonetown. I think we're gonna call it early. Like I said, I know it's only been an hour, but it's warm. I'm a little tired. I have to get up early tomorrow morning. We are recording the next episode of Guardian Lounge, which is a Destiny podcast that I am a part of, where we're talking about our Guardians. We're talking about how they interact. Tomorrow we're talking about relationships our Guardians have with other people in the city and people outside the city. So, like, do we have friends? Do you have a fire team? That sort of thing. So we're recording that tomorrow. So look for that maybe end of this coming so end of next week, early following week. If you are interested in Destiny and you want to hear the first 2 episodes of the podcast, it's I'll put a link in the up down there on the VOD on YouTube. It is on YouTube. It's called Guardian Lounge. The channel is also called Guardian Lounge. So if you search, you should find it. Myself and 4 other Guardians in the Loading Ready Run Destiny clans have been working on this as kind of a pet project. It's fun. So I have to get up tomorrow and record that. I think I'm supposed to raid tomorrow also. And yeah, it's been kind of a long week getting over vacation, so we're gonna call the stream short today. I'll be uploading this at some point, and thanks. And I'm happy I was able to share this with you. We will definitely do more retro stuff coming up in the future. I'm probably going to, especially as we move into a once a week or so streaming schedule. focus more on the retro games because that's something we can do. Like I love Minecraft, but it's really hard to only play it once a week. So I think that that's what we're gonna do. Is we're gonna start moving into the more retro stuff. I'm deep in research on metal streaming. Again, it's gonna be some time and some money that I'm gonna have to build up the coffers again after Kansas Fest, and there's a couple other things I need before that, like a screen for the G3 and a screen for the 2E. So I need a couple VGA screens. And depending on what happens when Destiny 2 New Light drops, which is going to be the free to play version of Destiny 2 Year 1, now that we have cross save and it's going to be free to play, I'm going to be loading it on the Windows partition of this machine and messing with some PC Destiny. Although I suspect it's going to want more than a gig of video RAM, so I suspect I'm going to have to get a new video card to do that. So, a couple things, a lot of things, this is an expensive, streaming and tech is an expensive hobby, and I can only do what I can do on a teacher's salary, because I also have to, pay the rent and buy food and cat food. I don't know where he was. He did not grace us with his presence tonight. So, join me for, the Destinies. Yeah, it's going to be free to play. I don't know how well it's going to run on a laptop, and I know it's not going to have a Mac client is the problem. So, but you could probably, I think it's going to be free to play on PS4 also. So you could get in on your PS4, and I can probably get you into the, and if you want to join a clan, join Sparrow Squad, because that's Lord Sparrow Squad's the one I'm in, and Sparrow Squad is best. Sparrow Squad is best clan. I'll say it. Sorry, sorry anybody who's in any of the other lore clans. Sparrow Squad for life. So I'm gonna go and do some PvP and get my butt kicked in the Iron Banner some more, and it's gonna be awesome. And I will see you on Monday for Minecraft. We're gonna get back to building our metallurgy area. So take the take the weekend, relax, have fun, game, and as always, thanks for watching.